Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the 1111 Matrix Code Revealed. As always, I'm your host, Garrett King. Folks, today I am so excited to show you this information. I can't believe how cool this information really is. And I hope you find it just as exciting and interesting as well. I'm going to try to go through it quick. There's a lot to cover, but I just want to state that the hunch that I had in my last video proved to be correct in a very big way. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So in the last video, I talked about ELS, which was equidistant letter sequences, and wondering how that might apply to the numbers generated through the 1111 matrix code. And, you know, I was finding connections. I showed those where it talked about the number 232, you know, and equaling the word of the Lord. But it goes deeper than that. It goes way, way deeper than that. And before we get into it, I just want to quickly state to those of you who are waiting for a response from me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger, please hang tight. I have been so involved in this discovery of this code within a code that it has really just eaten up all of my time, and I apologize, but bear with me. I will respond to you. Just give me a little bit of time, okay? But let me show you, I want to walk you through the process of exactly what I was doing. I know it's technical, I know it's boring, but it's important for me to let you know exactly the steps that I'm going through, so that if any of you want to recreate this and check it for yourself, go for it. But I want you to see exactly what I'm doing so that nobody can sit here and say, I'm cherry picking numbers, I'm altering things, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, blah, blah. I want you to see exactly what I'm doing. So with that in mind, let's talk about this ENS, what I'm calling ENS, equidistant number sequences. I talked about it briefly in the last video. Well, not briefly, probably the whole video, but I talked about it. And the equidistant number that I chose was 4. Because all of these numbers generated through the 1111 matrix code can come back to the number 1111, which reduces to 4. That's why I chose that distance in this sequence. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a moment. So, in the last video, I talked about starting with the first number generated, and I took it up to like the 300 and some odd number, 333 probably. But I have since taken it up to the number 24 billion, whatever it is in the first sequence here, 24,857,445,118. So I selected all of those numbers. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to show you the steps that I went through. It takes too much time to process this for me to do it live on the screen, but I'm going to select just a smaller portion of numbers and show you the steps that I went through so that you can see for yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the first number, and we're just going to go down, and let's just select the number 73 because it's the mirror opposite of 37. So I copied the numbers, but keep in mind, I copied the numbers all the way up to 24 billion, but this is just a demonstration. So I copied the numbers, I went over to Word, I clicked Paste Special, checked Unformatted Text because I wanted to just paste the text and not the cells. I just want the text only. I hit OK. So everything's pasted in. This is just the first numbers up to the number, or the 73rd number. And as you can see, there's these paragraph marks after each number. So these are hard returns. What that means, if I was to delete this and then come here and move this up, then it would follow right behind this number. So an easier way to get rid of this is to go to find and replace, choose paragraph mark, leave replace empty, and simply hit OK or hit replace all. What that does is it moves every number up into sequential order like this. I don't know if sequential order is the right word, but it moves it up into order so that the numbers are going one right after the other, reading from left to right like a book. So the first number generated was 371074. The next was 741037. Then we had 1111000, and so on. Okay, what I was doing originally was going through and selecting like the first number, highlighting it, counting over 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 7 is the fourth one. I highlighted it, counted over 4, so the next one would be 1, highlighted it, and so on. Then I took all of the highlighted numbers out and, I extracted those and I was working with just those numbers. Well, I found an easier way to do it. And so basically what I did was I exported out my file as just a simple text file. And I'm going to save this to desktop. We're just going to call it numbers. And saved it out as plain text. And I made sure the insert line breaks was selected so that it would put a line break just like we see it here on the screen. And this is important, and I'll tell you why here in just a moment. And then I hit OK. Okay, so the file's exported. Then I went to Numbers, which is the program for Mac that's an Excel, or like an Excel spreadsheet program. And I opened up the file. Let's see, desktop. It's called Numbers. Let's scroll down. Here it is. I hit Open. So it opens it up, and then I clicked on Adjust Settings. Because as you can see, what it's done is it's created 7 rows of numbers, which is essentially what there was in that document that I just exported out. But I need each number to be in its own cell. So I click on Fixed Width, and then you just simply come up here and add a line between each number. Now, I'm not going to go through and do all of these. This is just for demonstration purposes only, just so you can see what I've done. But I'm going to do enough here to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, I think that's enough. And then I clicked on Update Table. Now, if I had continued the process, which I have in my other spreadsheet, all of these numbers would be in their own cell. But you can see I went as far as the 3 zeros at the end of 1111, and it placed everything into its own cell, okay? That's what I did. And I did it in this spreadsheet here that you'll see in just a moment. Once I did that, then I was able to go through and I look at the first number, and remember, I'm doing equidistance of 4. So 3's the first number, 7's the fourth. So that means I need to remove everything in between. So that, and the way that this is set up, surprisingly, what it does when all the numbers are in their own cell, it literally allowed me to select every third one, just like you see that I'm doing here, and skipping over the fourth ones. Okay, just like this. And of course, I'd have to keep going. But what it did was at the very end, I had a number selected, and then there were 3 cells left over, which comes back to the original first line. So it would be line 2, this 4 would remain, and this 8 would remain, and 2 and 5 and 9 and 8 and so on straight down. So it worked out perfectly. It was like it was almost designed to do that. So, and I'm just going to go ahead and select this last one here. So let's just imagine that I've selected every third number in between every fourth number. Then what I did was I simply hit delete selected columns, and then that left all the numbers behind that was every fourth number, okay? Such an easier fucking process. And excuse my bad language, but I was so frustrated trying to figure out how to do this in Word just by simply going through and selecting there was a lot of numbers to select, let me just say. But this process was much easier, and it allowed it to happen faster, and it was more precise. There was no room for error, okay? Going through and selecting each one individually or trying to highlight an entire section, there was just too much room for error, and I didn't want there to be any errors. So this completely prevented all of that. Okay, so now that you can see the process that I've done, we don't need that. This is what is left over. And I'll remove this black portion here in just a moment. But I briefly showed you this section in the last video, although it wasn't color-coded like this. It was more like this. And what I was showing you is that there are these patterns taking place within these numbers. And how the first two columns, the green portions, even including this red area, they have the value of 232. And the first two iterations of this number were perfect palindromes of one another. They're the same forwards and backwards, okay? And even though all of this area in green, this area in blue, and this area in this pinkish color, the numbers look identical, they're not. The first two are absolutely identical, and they're perfect palindromes. All the numbers in this blue, including the red section, and I'll explain in a second why this is red, but all of the numbers from here to here in the rows are identical. And the same from here to here, okay? They're identical. But the ones here are not identical to the ones in blue, and the ones in blue are not identical to the ones in green. That's why these columns are in red. So if you look at the first column, it goes 4 straight down until the very bottom, and then we get 3, 3, 3. Interesting. That's the number that started it all. And then the second one, we have 5s straight down, and then it goes 6, 6, 6. Then over here, we have 7 and 7 at the top, but then it's 6s all the way down. And over here, we have 2 and 2, and then it's 3 all the way down. So that's why each one of these are different. But they all have the value of 232, which in Hebrew is the value given to the phrase, the word of the Lord. All right. Let's look at this. So the areas in yellow are the same as the areas in green in that other table that I was just showing you. But there's so much going on here, folks. So much going on that this is literally, beyond a shadow of a doubt, a code hidden within a code. And no one is going to be able to convince me otherwise once you see the information that is going to be revealed. And no one is going to convince me that this is not a divine communication from a higher entity, a possibly God, the creator himself or herself, who knows? Okay. Let's look at this. So we know that every number goes up and down by the number 37 in the 1111 matrix code. And it just so happens that this sequence starts with 37. We have a 37 here, a 37 here, and a 37 here. Now, this first portion in orange from here to here has the value of 171. Okay, I have a color code over here, but you can also see down here at the bottom 171 is the sum of these numbers. Watch this, folks. So 171 in Greek is the value for the word again. Again. Now, we talked about a possible reset of the simulation, which when you reset something, it starts over again. So that's the very first word that we have, again. So I'm just going to copy this Greek text here, and I just want to show you that it has the values that I'm talking about. So I'm going to paste it in here, change it to Greek, hit submit, and as you can see, Greek standard 171. Okay? Now, this is a Gematria calculator on a website called 777codes.com. And this is the same page, but I'm using the link for the full screen mode. I just want you guys to be able to see that. Okay? So here it is. 171. Let's move forward. Now, as we saw over here, there's those sequences of 9100010, and it happened 9 times. In between those 9 times were those numbers over here. And that's what you're seeing here. So here's the first one, the second one, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. It starts here and wraps around, 8th and 9th. Okay? So each one of these has the value of 11 because it's 9, 1, and 1. The zeros have no value or calculation into that. So it's 11, and there's 9 of them. So the value is 99, which in Greek is the value given to the phrase Trinity of God. Okay, so let's copy that. Go back to our calculator here, paste it in. And as you can see, the ordinal value is 99. All right. Now we come into the first yellow portion. So it goes from here and then wraps around, comes here, and then we get to the next blue instance, and then we have the yellow portion again. These are the two numbers that are perfect palindromes. They are the same forwards and backwards. And then we hit the blue portion, and then it goes into the pinkish pinkish section, and then blue, and then it's pink. Those are the same repeating numbers. What you're looking at here with the yellow, the blue, the yellow, the pink, and this kind of more fluorescent pinkish color is the exact sequence that you're seeing over here. Okay? And we know from the last video that each one of those have the value of 232, which in Hebrew is the word of the Lord. Why it's repeated 9 times, I don't know, but the number 9 will come up here in just a little bit. And maybe that is the connection. When I get to that portion, maybe that's the connection. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So now we get to where the blue portion ends. The 910010. And then it goes into this turquoise color here that I have. Now, this line here in this sort of gradiated turquoise color has the value of 84. And so does this yellowish orange color. They both have the value of 84. The difference is this one is 17 digits long, and this one is 16 digits long. Now, 16 plus 17 is 33, the age that Christ was supposed to have been at the time of his crucifixion. Now, 84 is the value in Hebrew given to the phrase, I am that I am. Okay. So let's copy this in Hebrew. Go back to our calculator, paste it in, switch this to Hebrew, hit submit. And as you can see, Hebrew ordinal 84. Now, Hebrew standard is 543. This will come up later. Remember that, 543. But for the time being, Hebrew ordinal is 84. And that's exactly what we have here. It's twice. One section is 17 digits long. The other one is 16 digits long for a total of 33. And again, that's the age that Christ was when he was crucified. Now, it goes into the number 37. Okay? And then between this 37 and this 37, we have this string of numbers here that's in blue, light blue. And it has the value of 212. Well, 212 is the value given to the word the light in Hebrew. Now, did Jesus not say that he was the light? Okay. So let's go back here, paste it in, hit submit. And as you can see, Hebrew standard 212. That's the value, 212. Exactly what we have right here. And just to prove it, because this is a formula, if I click this right here, as you can see, it highlights that whole entire section, indicating that that is the value of all of those numbers. Okay, so right now it's unchecked. And if I click it, it darkens up a little bit, letting you know that it's been selected and that that is indeed the value of those numbers. And interesting that it's flanked by the number 37. Now, this will come up here in just a little bit, why those numbers 37 are there, or why I think they're there. Now, after the 37, we have this portion that is in this kind of darkish pink color. That section has the value of 165. And as you can see, they're selected now. And in Greek, it's the value, 165 in Greek is the value given to the phrase the alpha high. The alpha high. So let's select this and go over to here, change it to Greek, hit submit. And if you look, 165 Greek ordinal, okay, 165. It's the exact same number. And it's the alpha high. Now, what's interesting is that other than the numbers 37, because 37 so far has not played into any of these other numbers. However, this will come up here in just a moment, but 37 times 3, because we have 3 different ones here that did not play into the calculation, is 111. Remember that, 111. It'll come up later. Now, as you can see, every number is highlighted, and this right now is where the numbers 37 will play into this. So if I click right here, let's move that over, and select the first number and then drag this over. So I'm selecting all of those numbers, and then I need to come down here and select that number and click here to move it over. Did that work right? I can't tell. Let's try this again. Okay. Select here to here. Click here to here. Okay. All of those are selected now. Those numbers equal 2701. Okay? And I have it right here. And if you look very closely, when I click this, all of these numbers get highlighted. All of them, including the 37s. 2701 is the value given to Genesis 1 in the Hebrew Bible. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. What are the chances that all of these numbers, starting with, again, Trinity of God, the Word of the Lord, I am that I am, the light, and the Alpha High, that all of those would equal 2701, including the 337s. This is a code within a code. And you have to keep in mind, folks, this is using equidistant number sequences. I removed, or I guess another way of saying it is I selected every fourth number and removed every number in between. Okay? It's the same type of sequencing that they did when they were looking for codes within the Bible, in the Bible code, the book, the Bible code. They used the same thing, the equidistant letter sequences. But this is numbers, so I've called it ENS. So, that being said, it cannot be coincidence that all of those numbers equal 2701 in Hebrew, Genesis 1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But it goes further. So let's move this completely out of the way. Okay. And let's move this down. So, immediately after this purplish color here, we get this blue line. And the tip of this triangle actually is part of this number here in blue. So if I select it, it's selecting all of these numbers in this line, including the 7 in red. That has the value of 49. In Hebrew, that value is given to the phrase, the Lord lives. The Lord lives. And the value is 49. So I copied that in Hebrew. We're going to paste it in, change the cipher to Hebrew. And if you look, now this is what's interesting. In standard and ordinal and in reversed reduced, in all three of those, they have the value of 49. Okay? That's very interesting. But you can see that it's exactly that number, 49. Now, let's look at the triangle and the line in the middle. So when I was first doing this, okay, I didn't have this blue line or any of this down here highlighted except for this green line going straight across. Why this one? Because this line has the value, if you can see right down here, of 333, the whole entire line. 333 is the number that started all of this. And I know some of you may not be able to see that, so let me just take a screenshot of that and enlarge it So you can see that the sum is 333. So when I was going through and looking for connections or sequences, I started with straight up in the middle. Okay, this is straight up in the middle. And I just calculated the distance or the numbers between here and here before the green line. So just this row of numbers right here totals 44. And 44 in Hebrew is the value given to the words the earth. The earth. Okay. So I'm going to copy that in Hebrew. Come over here, paste it in. And as you can see, in Hebrew ordinal, the value is 44. It's exactly the same. Now the triangle portion, okay, that has the value of 177. And that is the value in Hebrew given to the phrase, the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden. Is it suggesting that the earth itself was the Garden of Eden? Quite possibly. Okay, so I'm going to select that text, and I'm just doing this so you guys can see that the values are exactly what I'm saying that they are. So I copied that. As you can see, it's Hebrew Standard 177. Okay? I just don't want people to think that I'm cherry picking numbers, that I'm selecting certain numbers. As you can see, there's a pattern taking place here. Okay, so we have the Garden of Eden and the earth, and the Lord lives. Now, this inside portion here that's in blue, including the numbers that are in red from this 4 to this 9. So the entire inside portion of this triangle equals 265. Okay? I've selected it here, and as you can see, all of those numbers are selected. The 4 or the 8 up here, which is considered the inside of the triangle, is not selected. So this is like a capstoned pyramid. So it's 147, 55127, and so forth, all the way down. It's the inside of the triangle, has the value of 265. And in Greek, 265 is the value given to the word key, K-E-Y, key. Okay, let's select that text. Remember, it's 265. Go back over here, change this to Greek, paste it in, hit submit. 265, Greek standard, 265. And interesting that the reversed reduced value is 33, which is the age that Christ was at the time of his crucifixion. That'll play in just a moment here. Okay. As you can see, 33, that's the next number. And I have Jesus' age at time of crucifixion. So if we look over here, this column in blue, from here to here, has the value of 33. Again, the age that Jesus was at the time that he was crucified. Now, this is where the connections start really become mind-blowing. So right after that, we have a square in red that's 6 across, 4 down. The one below it in yellow is 6 across and 4 down. But the red portion here has the value of 105, and in Greek, that is the value given to the word resurrection in Greek. So let's copy that. Come over here, paste it in, hit submit. 105, Greek ordinal 105. Okay. Right below it, this orangish yellowish color, that has the value of 88. And in Greek, 88 is the value given to the word shroud. Shroud. Now, for most people, that may not make much sense, but for most of you, you will have heard or know about the Shroud of Turin. It's the cloth that was placed over, Jesus's body after crucifixion, and a imprint, almost a photograph type image, was left behind of this person in the cloth. And so we simply have the word shroud. Now, there's been a lot of controversy over this, whether it's real, it's fake, whatever. I mean, the people that say it's fake, is it fake, or are they simply wanting us to believe that it's fake? Who knows? But I find it very interesting that we have a column that equals 33, which is the age of Christ or Jesus at the time of crucifixion. This red square that simply says resurrection, and this one that says shroud. This is not coincidence, folks. It's not. Okay, let's keep moving forward. And I don't know if I copied that one to show you guys or not. Let's go ahead and do it. Copy. Yeah, I didn't do it. So let's paste it in, hit submit. And as you can see, Greek ordinal 88 shroud. Okay. That's the value given to this word, 88. Now, next to that, we have this sort of turquoise blue color. It has the value of 131. 131 is the value given to Jesus of Nazareth in Hebrew, but also is the value given to the word palindrome in Greek. Okay. So let's just demonstrate this. So we're going to select the Hebrew text, copy it, paste it in, change this to Hebrew, hit submit. We have 131 in Hebrew ordinal. Okay. And then we're going to change this to Greek. Come back over here, select the Greek text for palindrome. Paste that in, hit submit, and we get Greek ordinal 131. The same. Now, why is palindrome coming up? You're about to see. This next portion, this column in green, has the value of 222. In Greek, 222 is the value given to the phrase palindrome of the Lord. Now remember, these two numbers up here in yellow with the value of 232 are perfect palindromes. They're the same forwards and backwards. And then we have palindrome of the Lord down here, 222. So let's copy this text. Come over here, put it in the calculator, hit submit. And as you can see, 222 in Greek ordinal. Again, folks, this is not coincidence. This is literally a code hidden within a code. I gotta resituate myself. This chair is so uncomfortable. Okay. Moving forward. Then we have this column here in yellow. It has the value of 232. When I click this, you can see that all of that is selected here. 232 is the value in Hebrew given to the words or the phrase, the word of the Lord, the same that we have up here. Okay? It's exactly the same text, so I'm not going to copy it and show you because we've already done that. Well, you know what? Just to leave out any questions, let's just go ahead and do it. Paste it in, change it to Hebrew, hit submit. 232. Hebrew Standard 232. And reduced 37. How cool is that? Okay, now we have this gray portion here. It has the value of 104, which in Greek is the value given to the words my blood, my blood. So let's go ahead and copy this. Come back over here, paste it in, change it to Greek, hit submit. 104, Greek ordinal, my blood. So look what's happening here, folks. We have the Lord lives. We see the age that Christ was at the time that he was crucified. We're talking about the resurrection, the shroud, my blood. There's connections here. We also have the Garden of Eden and the earth here in the center, with the center portion of it being the key. It's crazy. Let's keep moving forward. Okay. Now we have this other yellow section here that flanks the triangle. Okay. And if you, I want you to pay perfect attention to this, folks. Look at the section that's in yellow and look at the section that's in green. They're the exact same number of digits. Different values, but the same number of digits. Okay? So this section here in yellow has the value of 125, which is the word of God in Greek. So let's select that. Come over here, paste it in, hit submit. 125 Greek ordinal. Okay? And it's also the same value in reversed ordinal, 125. Now, let's look at the other side of the triangle, the section that's in green. This has the value of 118, which is the value given to the word Christ in Greek. So the Greek word, I've copied it, I'm going to paste it in here, hit submit. 118, Greek ordinal, 118. And then if you look here, the full ordinal is 333. Okay? These connections cannot be denied, folks. And the fact that this is a code within a code. As you can see here, no number is left out. And I'm not cherry picking numbers. If I was cherry picking numbers, I would come over here and say, okay, if you take this 8 and this 0 and this 5 and this 2 and this 9 and this 7, it equals whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm not jumping all over the board choosing numbers. These are, you can clearly see a pattern taking place here. And again, it's using something known as equidistant number sequences. Okay, so we have Christ. Now we have a column that's in orange that has the value of 65. This section right here, okay, 65. 65 is the value given to the words my Lord in Hebrew. Okay, 65, my Lord. Copy and paste it here. Change this to Hebrew. Hit submit. 65, Hebrew Standard, 65. Let's come back. Next to it, we have a column that's in purple here. That has the value of 84, which is the same as the one up above. I am that I am. Okay. And again, just so there's no question, let's just copy that. Come up here, paste it in. It's in Hebrew, 84, ordinal. And again, remember the 543. This will come up here in just a few minutes. 543. But the current is 84 in Hebrew ordinal. Okay, next to this, we have a column that is in pink. It has the value of 111. Now remember, 37 times 3 up here was 111 as well. But now we have this entire column that's 111. 111 is the value given to the phrase in Hebrew, the beginning of wisdom. The beginning of wisdom. Copy that. Come over here. Paste it in, hit submit. And as you can see, Hebrew ordinal 111, reversed, reduced, 33, the age that Christ was at the time of crucifixion. And it's the beginning of wisdom. Okay, next to that, we have this column, this rather thick column in blue, has the value of 270, which in Hebrew is the value given to the phrase image of my face. Image of my face. Now, this ties into two things. The shroud of Turin, because an image of this person's entire body was left behind in this cloth. But if we look at Genesis 1, where God says, let us create man in our image, well, image of my face, same thing. So let's copy that. And again, it has the value of 270. Paste it in. As you can see, Hebrew Standard 270. Not making this shit up, folks. I mean, you can clearly see it. It is a code hidden within a code. Just like the Bible. I mean, it's amazing. It's freaking amazing. Okay. Now, we have this next column. It has the value of 172 in green. Okay. I have it selected here. It's highlighted. Now, this is what's interesting. Very, very interesting, folks. So 172 is the value given to the Greek, like if you take the Greek names of the letters that form the word iota, okay? So let me just show you this. So this right here is essentially IOTA. IOTA. Okay. Paste this in. Change it to Greek. Hit submit. 172. Okay. Greek ordinal. 172. That's the value we have here. 172. Now, iota is the name of the number 9 in Greek. Okay, 9. Well, we have 9 iterations of the number 232 up above the word of the Lord. We also have 9 different sections of the number 91000010 for a total of 99, which is the Trinity of God. And I just want to point out that the first 9, so if I start right here with the number 3, come down to 9 over to here. Okay, so 9 and over to 74. Check this out. 9 times 74 is 666. Now, folks, I know that number is a negative number for a lot of people, but I think we have demonized this number because in the Bible, it clearly says it is the number of man. It is the number of man. So interesting that the first 9 rows of numbers, and there's 74 digits going across, would have this value. And we get the reference to the number 9 here, the word of the Lord 9 times, and these 9 sections of the number 91000010 in blue for a total of 99, Trinity of God. And sorry for that high-pitched squeal sound that you may hear in the background. The garbage men are coming down the street picking up trash. Okay. Let's keep moving forward. Next, we have this column in light blue, has the value of 145, which in Greek is the value given to the words the Eden paradise. The Eden paradise. We talked about the Garden of Eden up above, and the earth in the center, talking about earth possibly being the Garden of Eden. And then here again, we have a reference to the Eden paradise. So let's copy that. Come over here. Paste it in, hit submit. 145, Greek ordinal. All right. Then we have this column in gray, which is right here. I have the numbers 999 and 963. I'll get to those in just a moment. But the section in gray is 181. That is the value given to the words, the golden rule. The golden rule in Greek. Damn it. Okay. So I've selected, well, I partially selected it. There we go. Okay, so I've selected that. I'm going to come over here to calculator, paste it in, hit submit. So Greek ordinal 181. Okay, 181. It's the golden rule. Now, I want you to look at something here really quickly. Reversed ordinal is 144. And if you recall, let's go back to when I was decoding the, where was it? Oh, I know it's in here somewhere. Maybe it was on my other sheet. Oh, yeah. Lord Jesus Christ in Hebrew. Lord Jesus Christ is the value of 144. And over here, we're seeing 144 reversed ordinal from the golden rule. Okay? Interesting connection. Now, the other interesting connection is when you take 181, the golden rule, times 3, 3 is the Trinity, you get the number 543. Remember, I told you to remember that number earlier because that was the standard value given to I am that I am in Hebrew. So let's go ahead and copy that. Come back over here just to show, so there's no questions, no doubt. Okay, 543, Hebrew standard. This is I am that I am, and it had 84 as the ordinal. And the golden rule, 181 times 3 times the Trinity equals I am that I am. It's amazing, folks. Now, when I was showing this to my brother, at the time that I was showing this to my brother, I had only gotten to this portion here where we got the alpha high. And my brother goes, okay, well, we have the alpha, where's the omega? And I said, well, the alpha is the beginning, and this is the beginning, and this is a shit ton of numbers to go through, as you can clearly see as I'm scrolling down. Scroll back up. And I said, who knows where the omega is? Well, strangely, it shows up. So right here, this last column in yellow going down has the value of 45. 45 is the value given to the word omega in Greek. So here is omega. Going to copy and paste it in, change the cipher to Greek, hit submit, and as you can see, Greek ordinal 45. 45. Now, we're almost done. 2 more things to show you. So, flanking the triangle at the bottom, from here, from this 3 to this 3, in a perfect line from the edge to the edge of the triangle. This has the value of 131, which, as we talked about earlier, is the value given to Jesus of Nazareth, and the word that was Jesus of Nazareth in Hebrew, and the word palindrome in Greek. Okay? So we have Jesus of Nazareth on one side of this triangle. Now, if you recall from my previous videos, I talked about this event in 2058 possibly being a solar flare. And if we're talking about Jesus as being the sun in the sky, then if a solar flare is what is to possibly wipe us out, then that would be the second coming of Jesus Christ. Okay? So we have Jesus of Nazareth on one side, and then we have this string of numbers from here to here. These numbers have the value of 124. 124 is the value given to the word apocalypse in Greek. Okay? This is the word apocalypse in Greek. We're going to come back over here, paste it in, hit submit. And as you can see, Greek ordinal, it has the value right over here, 124. Folks, this is a code within a code. It cannot be denied because look at this pattern. No number is missed, okay? And it's sequences of numbers in straight lines and in columns and in squares and in triangles. And I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not jumping from here to here to here over to here and saying, oh, look, these numbers have this meaning, but they're all over the place. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. You can clearly see it on the screen. And any one of you can do this yourself. Simply start a spreadsheet, take the numbers 1111 times 333, you get 369,963, add 1111 to that number to produce the first number, 371074. Then add 369,963 to that number and every number that you get after it, okay? That will produce the, let's go back here. That will produce the 1111 matrix code sequence. All of these numbers. That's exactly what I've done. 333 times 1111 gave us 369,963 plus 1111 gave us this number. I moved this number over, added 369,963 to get the second number, moved it over, kept adding 369,963 to get the next number, and so on. I've done that all the way down. Every single one of these numbers comes back to 1111. And I have continued that sequence, I've shown you this before, all the way up to 100 billion. And it will come back to 1111. Now, I don't know why I have the number 2222 there, but this will come back, and I've shown this before, but just for anyone who's watching new, just because I had 2222 there, I don't want anyone to get confused. So I'll just show you how this process works very quickly. You take the last four digits, that's where the number 4 comes into, and that's, again, another reason why I chose the number 4 as the ENS, the equidistant number sequence that I chose earlier. But what you do is you take the last 4, 52, 85, plus the next 4, which is going to be 4824, plus the next 4, which is 1001. And you get 1111, but still following that sequence of taking the last 4, which is 1110, and adding the remaining 1. So 1110 plus 1 is 1111. Okay? They all come back to 1111. So again, every single one of you can do this. Takes time, but you'll get the same results that I've gotten. Now, after you've done that, take all the numbers, put them into a Word document, as I showed you earlier, just like this, and then load them into a spreadsheet, extract all the numbers in between every fourth number, and you're left over with this new code. Okay? And again, no number is missed. Every portion of this has meaning to it. And interesting that all of this butts up and meets up perfectly with line 19, which has the value of 333. The number that started it all for me in 2009 when I was waking up every morning at 3:33 a.m. Folks, again, no one will convince me that this is coincidence. This is a divine message created by a divine creator. And no one's going to convince me otherwise. Now, very quickly before I head out, this is not the end. This is not the end. So I've continued this. I will continue this because I believe that the code continues. This line here in green has the value of 333. Line 19. Line 50 has the value of 333. This triangle right here, okay, this triangle has the value of 512. 512. Now, I'll have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure that I want to say it's the name Jesus in Greek. And I will correct myself if I'm wrong. But I can't remember if it's, I think it is Greek, but I can't remember if it's in standard or ordinal. But anyway, the value is 888. Okay. How does that play into this triangle and the value of 512? Well, actually, you know what? Let's see if we can do this really quick. I'm just super curious. Jesus in Greek. Okay. Let's copy that. And it may even be Jesus Christ. We'll have to look. So copy that, paste it in. No, it's just Jesus alone, okay? So Jesus in Greek standard has the value 888. Okay. I'm glad we did that so I could show you this. So 888, this triangle right here, stretching from this 333 line to this 333 line, okay, has the value of 512. Well, this is how it plays into, excuse me, my mouth is getting dry. This is how it plays into the name Jesus. 8 times 8 times 8 is 512. Folks, this is a code within a code. And when the phrase Garrick King decodes the God matrix, having the value of 1111. Now, we talked about a simulation. This could still very possibly be referring or indicating that we are within a simulation because these are numbers. It's a number calculation. But the term matrix in math, okay? And I had this pulled up because I wanted to read this to you. Matrix, mathematics. In mathematics, a matrix is a rectangular array or table of numbers, symbols, or expressions arranged in rows, and columns, and symbols, the triangle, which is used to represent a mathematical object or a property of such an object. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And remember the phrase, Garrick King decodes the God matrix. That's exactly what I've done. It is by design. It has been foretold. It is revealing itself now. And with that being said, folks, I'm going to leave you with it. For now, this is a lot to digest, but this is extraordinary. It's extraordinary. So please let me know what your thoughts are. Share this with friends and family. I mean, it's truly, truly amazing. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-boggling. It's so many things rolled into one. So, yeah. There you have it, folks. Until next time, I hope you all take care, and we'll talk again soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.